Incredible flavours, even better stories. One pour, 10 minutes. Aussie bourbon lovers sharing bourbon with Australia.
Oh, that was more of a hit the mic with a bottle than a pop, Dave.
Oh, righto. Thank you very much.
What are we drinking?
Well, thanks for asking. Tonight we've got a Penelope barrel strength. It's the one with the red label. Do you know, the Penelope bottles make such a nice lineup.
There's such a good display. They're tall and thin and pretty, and then every label's a different colour, so you kind of can't get confused as to which one you're drinking.
115.2 proof, barrel strength. So it's not a single barrel, it's barrel strength. So it's like a batch of that. Of
The
that
red
proof.
Penelope.
Cheers. We do get a good sound from our Glencairn glasses.
You do.
Righto, H. We've once before spoken about Penelope, and I kind of went with a broad brush that probably wasn't fair about all Penelope expressions, which I don't stand by, actually.
No.
Because I really didn't have a good understanding of all the Penelope expressions. But tell me what we know about Penelope.
It's delicious. It was named after the people who made it, named it after their daughter, which I think is so cool.
Yeah.
That, makes me a little bit jealous we didn't start a bourbon label and name it after our kid.
It'd be such a good act of parenthood.
Yeah. But they are sourced, or they originally were. They still sourced.
Still are,
Still sourced, yeah. So they're sourced, which I think gives it a great edge in the sense that they, obviously you don't have that same story of generational and everything that a lot of bourbons have. But I think the fact that they've kind of flipped that story and gone the other way, they've named it after their daughter, so it's kind of the future. But they're mixing good bourbons together so they can be really fussy and picky with what flavours and tastes and expressions they get, which I think is really fascinating.
Great. This is a 4 to 6 year old and it's 4 grains. So kind of, I don't know if it's infamous, but in the bourbon world, Penelope was a brand that came from MGP.
Yep.
Indiana's big kind of distillery that makes a distillate for lots and lots of different labels. Penelope kind of made that. And then the MGP group brought it back. I don't know if it's exactly the MGP company, but they now own it. So Penelope is now owned by the company who had originally been selling the whiskey to them. Because the brand's been so successful. And it's been huge here in Australia, actually.
Well, I find it more it's an easier drink to me. When I was getting into bourbon, some of them were a bit much and you were like, whoa, that, didn't feel like you could. Whereas Penelope was just an easy drink. It was delicious and easy to drink. Lighter is probably the word I'd use. But this is giving me really good dessert.
It's interesting. While you were putting the kids to bed, I did a thing where I did a little bit of reading about it because Penelope has so many different expressions and because they choose from so many different barrels, and so many different mash bills and stuff, they can do huge different number of variations and expressions and stuff. Yep. They can do a lot of different stuff. And somewhere I'd read that barrel strength is just a stronger version of their 4 grain, which is the white label.
Oh, okay.
But it's not. Because
you can give us actual facts.
The mash bill is actually a bit different. It's not exactly the same. It still has 4 grains. But the barrel strength bourbon has 82% corn, 8% wheat, 7% rye, and 3% malted barley. And that mash bill percentage, the ranges and stuff, are actually different in that 4 grain, the white label one.
Yeah.
Which I think of as the entry level one, which we have spoken about in the past.
Yeah.
This one is more, and I'm not,
what's the
there's
corn?
some podcasters who call it a proof whore, but I'm not a proof whore, but I do like more kind of...
You like a stronger...
a little bit, something more punchy.
Does it say how much corn is in this one?
82% corn,
82. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Because I do like the ones with more corn for whatever reason that I've come to learn.
Yeah, well, it's the sweetness, isn't it, that you kind of get from that. It's a bit more syrupy.
So while I'm just sitting here spilling out facts from memory that I can try and remember, you've done your research.
Putting the kids to bed. You've been doing the worthy thing.
I'm just winging it, and you're just like, I actually know the facts tonight.
Because otherwise, what would happen is this would be a very dry podcast, and you and I would be both sitting here.
I had some good information.
No, I know. We both know a little bit.
I didn't do any research.
I'm trying to bring some knowledge to the good Australians who love it. Oh, come on. Anyway.
Thank you for doing your research. Because if I don't have anything to say, I need someone who's done their research.
But there's this question that's coming up kind of more recently, right? So the bourbon bubble has busted, and there's people saying that the big producers and stuff are in trouble because they can't, move enough stock and stuff like that. And MGP is one of these ones who've kind of come back and said that their returns, what they're able to, the kind of the reporting on how much they're selling is coming down. But one of the great things I think about, in particular, Penelope, is that it has so many expressions, and some that are really kind of controversial. Some people really don't like some of their expressions, but they have something for everything.
Range. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. They've got something sort of for everyone and every flavour. This one particularly, I'd say.
Halfway through a sentence, you're drinking now. This is interesting. You used to just stop.
I was just checking that it was the one that I was going to say because it smelt like it, and then I was like, oh, I better check it. But it's very desserty to me. I was just double checking because I was like, I'm about to say desserty. If this is the smoky one, then I'll have to correct myself. But no, it's the desserty one.
It's desserty?
Yeah.
Yep. I'm getting a little bit like
burnt, like creme brulee or like something with a burnt top, like a.
I was going to say like a burnt pineapple dessert or something. I don't even know what that. I don't know if I've had a burnt pineapple dessert, but it's almost like that caramelisation.
But it's that caramel top. I'm going to stick with creme brulee.
I actually don't think it's too different to the Penelope White Label. I like it because it's bigger, full of flavour.
Yep.
And the mouth feels better as well. Yeah. It's got that.
Are these easily available in Australia? Penelope?
But the Penelope you can get in Australia. You've got to find them. It's not like you're going to walk into a local bottle shop and find it. You've got to go online. But the Penelope expressions are readily available. Yeah, they get.
Yeah. And they've got quite a few now, which I love.
Yep. Absolutely.
Pick your favourite Penelope, and then you can kind of follow your bourbon trail from there.
100%. If I said to you, I was going to give you could choose. You can only have one pour. One is barrel strength, so it's like a. Actually, you can choose from three. Here we go.
Okay.
You can choose from a barrel strength, so it's a vatted but at the full proof, so it's at the full proof that it was in the barrel.
These are all Penelopes.
I'm saying across any whiskey.
Oh, that's too hard.
No, let's try it. You can have it barrel proof, so or barrel strength. You can have a single barrel, so it's like a lucky dip.
Yeah.
But, theoretically, I picked a good one. Or you can have like a central expression, so like something that's down at 45% or 40%. That the distiller's gone, this is our best, this is the one. We're going to make it consistently awesome forever.
Well, so the last one would be Maker's Mark.
Well, no, that could be anything. It could be a Michter's bourbon, it could be a Old Forester, it could be Buffalo Trace, it could be an Eagle Rare, it could be any of these, right? But,
I don't know, Dave.
No, I'm not saying that. It's completely agnostic. You can get single barrels and you can get barrel strength of almost all of these. But in terms of like a strength?
A strength?
Well, barrel strength, I suppose, and single barrel are going to be roughly the same.
I do like a good single barrel, but that's kind of contradictory to the fact that I enjoy drinking Penelope because they're the lowest strengths.
Yeah, I suppose.
See why it's tricky to answer. Because, if I was to have one last pour of bourbon, I'd go
not
single.
death row. We're not. Yeah, haven't been.
I'd go like a single barrel of something delicious.
Yeah,
because it's good when they've made a single barrel.
Well,
but having said that, Penelope, it's kind of like you can't fail. Find the expression of it you like because they've got a nice range and they've really picked and worked out the flavours they want to bring through in each one.
Okay. Let's go to the big ones.
Yeah.
You can choose a Buffalo Trace, a Michter's, a Maker's Mark, an Old Forester, and an Elijah Craig, or a Penelope. So, to me, Penelope's the most crafty of these expressions, right? I could have listed a whole bunch of others, right?
It depends on the moment. You're not going to get a straight answer.
You're not going to.
No, because if it's not too cold an evening. If it's a cold evening, I'm sitting in front of the fire. I want a Michter's or a.
Do you want a Michter's because Andrew and Dan said they wanted to be on our couch?
Will come and join us. Yes, or a Maker's, or I don't know. If I feel like a dessert, I want an Old Forester or a Blanton's Gold, something that's really delicious. But if I'm just kind of, I don't know, weekend, Penelope's kind of like my, what'll I have tonight? I'll always kind of start on a Penelope because it's always going to be delicious and it's light enough to kind of start on. That's kind of.
I need to get more bottles of Penelope for this selection because I feel like I don't have enough for you.
Well, I feel like I start on a Penelope and then I'm now I feel like dessert and go to an Old Forester or go to a Blanton's or a Eagle Rare or a, many of the other ones that I like.
And it's one of the things we love about bourbon, right? Because
it really
I
depends
enjoy
on
Penelope, but I love how much you love it so that you can have that and I can have some others.
Well, when I'm drinking the Penelope, I always make you drink the ones that I really don't like.
Which I really do like. So here's to that. Enjoy bourbon how you like it. Cheers.
Thanks for listening. Make sure you're connected with us on TikTok, Instagram and YouTube, and stay connected with us by clicking subscribe on your favourite podcast app.